New Zealand. Hope you're having a super fantastic sparkling day. Welcome to Portrait Letters podcast number 2553. Today, oh my gosh, this is a favorite topic of mine. Where was your family when they found their favorite singer or band? Now, band, I'm not just talking about like the bands we know today. I'm also talking about the big brass bands as well that used to just play the music. Some would have singers with them, some would not, but the big brass bands as well. So don't just think of the band where you've got the guitarist and the drummer and the keyboard player and the bass player, that sort of band. Also go back, you want to go back in time to the days where they had the big brass bands that would do Glenn Miller. The Glenn Miller band was one that comes to mind, one that I sort of grew up with. So think about, don't just put band as being today's rock bands or yesterday's rock band. I mean, you've got the Beatles that were a band as well. That goes back into the 60s. Go further back than that. You've got Cliff Richard and the Shadows was a band. But if you keep going back, you've got like Glenn Miller as the band. Think of, if you're looking at the black and white movies with Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire, they're dancing to the big brass bands. So just think of the bands as in whichever you confirm as a band. But music has a remarkable way of bringing memories back to life. And the reason I chose that for today's topic is just been out and about running errands and just got back on the bus and happened to have my phone on, and somebody had sent me a reel to have a look at. So I'm looking at the reel, and it happened to have another one after, which I went to, and it was the Bee Gees doing a cappella, doing Staying Alive? They were doing one of their songs and they're doing a cappella. It was just absolutely gorgeous. And I thought, wonder what bands and singers that our parents used to listen to, our grandparents, who did they used to listen to? So, because music is just incredible what music can do. It really does have a remarkable way of bringing memories back to life. The first few notes of a favorite song can instantly transport us to another time. Remember where we were, who we were with, how we felt. A song isn't just music, it's a time machine. Yes, music is a time machine that connects us to the people, places, and moments that shaped our lives. Every generation has a soundtrack. Some families gathered around the radio waiting for the latest hit. Others saved their money to buy records, cassette tapes, 8-tracks, CDs. iTunes came out later, e-songs, I guess you want to call them, digital music. Favorite singers and bands became part of everyday life, filling homes, cars, dances, weddings, celebrations, and the long road trips with music that would be remembered for decades. Ask someone about their favorite artist, and you'll often hear much more than the name of the singer or the band. You'll hear the stories about their first concert, the record they played until they wore it out, the song they danced to at their wedding, or a tune that reminds them of a first love, a family holiday, or a special friendship. Those memories are just as important as the music itself. These stories add color to your family history. They help future generations understand not only what your family looked like, but what they listened to, what made them smile, what filled their home with joy. Music becomes part of the soundtrack of your family's story. Also, too, if you have a bunch of musicians in the house, how often did you sit around and just have a jamming session? Think about that. Did somebody pull out a guitar and you'd have a sing-along? Where were you at? Were you at a picnic and somebody pulled out, a couple of people might have pulled out guitars or whatever, the harmonica, whatever instrument they brought along with them, and they start having a jam session with sing-alongs and all of that included. I remember one work conference I went to, one of our guys played piano, and they had this grand piano off in this corner of the hotel where nobody was. I think it was by conference rooms. I'm not sure. We never went there except for we found a piano. And he sat there and just played different songs, and we just all sat there and sang along. Whether the lyrics were correct or not, we didn't care. We were just having fun. It was a great evening, full of lots of laughter. As people were accusing people of wrong lyrics and all that sort of stuff. Let's see what else was there. Then there was the, coming in through the 70s and the 80s is that period that I grew up with, all the music and stuff. I had country and western that I listened to. My parents had different records from different eras, different types of music. We had big band music in there. There was that's how I found out about Glenn Miller. They had big band music in there mixed in with modern modern pop and rock, because 60s, 70s and 80s was my main thing, but I did like a lot of the songs from the 70s that I didn't realize were released in the 70s that were done in the 80s. And then there were some songs from the 60s that I also liked. I have a very broad, when it comes to music, I have a very broad palette when it comes to music, a very broad thing. Back in the 80s, early 90s, if you asked me what's that song, I could have told you the name of the song and who sung it. I can't do that anymore. All I know is that I like the song and I've got to go and figure out who sung it so I can put it into my playlist if I hear a song that I like. And now I'm writing songs. It's crazy how that works out. But in the 80s, I found out about Cliff Richard. He had been around since like 18, jeepers. I know he's in his 80s. 1959, I think it was, if I remember correctly. It was 1959 when he made it big. It was Cliff Richard and the Shadows, and the Shadows was his band. And who was the guitarist for him? Hank Marvin was the guitarist of the Shadows. There was Hank Marvin and two other guys in the group, and they toured with Cliff Richard, and they were the backup band for him as well as doing their own stuff. They did a lot of music only, with no lyrics, and even had an album of theirs at one point. Let's see, who else did I grow up with? U2, with Bono. U2. Saw the concert of U2 touring with BB King. Well, BB King was touring with U2. It was a U2 concert, and BB King was one of their guests that was touring with them. A fabulous, incredible concert. My first concert I went to was Cliff Richard. He's been around a lot of years. I mean, since 1959, and he is still selling out concerts. Somebody asked him in an interview one time, when would he retire and stop recording music? And he said, when people stop buying it and listening to it. But he said he gets to concerts. There are 3 and 4 generations at a concert together. That's how long he's been around. That they've got 4 generations of people coming to his concert in one family. He's been around a very long time, and he has some really cool music. He's pop basically, but he has some really cool music. I enjoy it. He was actually here in New Zealand and playing in Wellington not long after I arrived in New Zealand, and I didn't know that. Had I known it, I might have gone and bought a ticket and stayed at a hotel in town for the night, because he was in downtown Wellington. But I didn't know that he was in town, and tickets for his concert sell out pretty well. Somebody said that they don't want to go and see him anymore. He was like the Peter Pan of pop. It took a lot of years for the age to show on his face, and he's now in his 80s and still doing sellout concerts. Go figure, been around a lot of years. Elvis was another one that I remember from back in the day. Let's see, the Beach Boys. Love the Beach Boys. Absolutely love the Beach Boys. It's just that their vibe just makes you happy. They got happy songs. Even when they're singing sad songs, they're happy. Bee Gees was another one. ABBA. Oh my gosh. Who else was there? George Michael. Trying to think of other singers that I like to listen to. I have a slew. You should see I had an iPod at one point, so I had my iTunes account. There was a crap ton of music in my iPod. And my iTunes, a crap ton of music in there. It's just a very wide genre. And then I have a lot, and not just pop and rock. Punk music, not really into. Heavy metal to a degree. I liked it when the heavy metal bands went a little softer. It was really cool. They came out with some great songs. Love Pour Some Sugar on Me. I don't know why, but that song just popped into my head. Love that song. Let's see. Celine Dion. Love her. Brad, I think it was Brad that introduced me to Celine Dion. I think it was him. Yeah, but our first dance at our wedding was Falling Into You by Celine Dion. That was our first one. We got ribbed because we're singing the lyrics. We're singing the songs to each other. We're up there dancing. We're not talking or anything. We're just gazing into each other's eyes, singing the song to each other. And his brothers ribbed us mercilessly. Yeah, a lot. Let's see who else. The Beatles, I like some of their music and some of it I don't. Enjoyed Paul McCartney's Wings more than I did the Beatles. Who else was in there in that era? Oh, there's a lot of good singers and songwriters, and country. I love country and western. Who do I like in there? Whoever's playing. When it comes to country and western, I'm pretty much whoever is singing the song at the time. That's who I'm with. I actually follow one on who's the one I follow on Facebook? Oh, Brandon. Is it Davis? He's got a blended family. And his youngest ones are twin girls, and like they'll give him like a Sunday challenge, sing us a gospel song, and he'll have to either sing one there or they want him to make one up, and he will do it right there on the spot. Love watching his stuff that he does, and with the kids, and just watching the kids' faces to the reaction, especially his twin girls, to him singing, because he's usually always holding one of the twin girls in his things. And just watching their faces as they listen to their dad sing, it's amazing. And he's done a father-son song as well, where he's got his son singing with him. I'm not sure in the family. He's got, I think there's like 5 kids in the family, and I don't know which were just hers. And he's basically treating them like their own, like his own. I know the twin girls are his. I don't know if any of the other kids are his, but it's a blended family, and he treats all the kids like they're like he's their dad, and they're his own kids type of thing. Who else is there? Carrie Underwood's another one I like. Brad Paisley. Let's see, who else have I got back there? Some of the boy bands. Osmonds was a big one for me when I was growing up. Used to love watching the Donnie and Marie show. Donnie and I actually share the same birthday. Not the same year, just the same birthday. We both love the color purple. I loved purple before I even heard about him. So people go, oh, you just did it because no. I was a Purple fan before I even heard about Donny Osmond and his love of purple. I have never seen him in concert though. I always want to go see him on our birthday, but he's never performing in Vegas on his birthday. He was doing concerts over in England one year. Yeah. So I won't get to see him on our birthday so we could celebrate together, but that's okay. Who else was in there in the day? Oh my gosh, there's just so many great singers. So I mentioned the Bee Gees, didn't I? Yeah. Beach Boys. And then I just like a lot of different orchestras. The orchestras, I like going and listening to orchestras as well. Different orchestras will do like different concerts and things. And there's what's the guy's name? He's a conductor, Andre, whatever he is. Can't think of his name. But all of the women are in these beautiful, big, bright, colorful ball gowns as they're sitting in the orchestra playing the music. And I just see a lot of his stuff on video. I have not had the chance to go see his concerts live because apparently they're quite entertaining. So I just have to watch them on YouTube at the moment. But there's so many different bands out there. John Bon Jovi is another one. These are just names of Aha popping into my head. Actually, when it was Aha, no, it wasn't Aha. It was Wet, Wet, Wet. I went and saw a concert in Wellington, and when we got there, we had these seats that were meant to be in front of the stage, but up on stage, looking at the stage to stage right, up on the top there. Really good seats to look down on, and they were going to give us great views and everything. When we got there, we were actually behind the speakers. They had expanded the stage, and so our seats were now behind the speakers, so we weren't getting the effect of it was a little quieter behind the speakers, but we didn't get the full concert experience because we were supposed to be in front of the speakers. And so afterwards we went back into the ticket office a couple of days later and explained. They said, yes, they unexpectedly expanded the thing. And so they gave us free tickets to go to whichever show we wanted. Gave us a list of shows. They had Howard Morrison was going to be there. He's a New Zealand, he was a very famous New Zealand entertainer. And so I thought that'd be really good. And so our tickets, the cost of our tickets covered 4 seats. And I'm like thinking, I know what I'll do. So I got 2 seats for my mum and dad, and my ex and I went and surprised. We didn't tell them we were going. We said, hey, we've got these tickets for Howard Morrison. They were center orchestra, like about 4 rows back, like 4 or 5 rows back from the front. And they were in the center of the orchestra section. So great seats for everything. And we didn't tell them we were going to be coming. And so mum and dad are just like looking around. They're sitting there and they've got their little, the program. They got their program there and they're looking at that and they're just looking around wondering, oh, I wonder who's going to be sitting next to us. And they're going, isn't this great and all that. And then me and my ex slipped in next to them and they got super excited. So the 4 of us sat there and totally enjoyed the show. It's the only time I've ever seen Sir Howard Morrison in person, and he was absolutely amazing. And his whole show was very like a variety show, very entertaining. He sang a lot of songs that everybody knew, so people in the audience were singing along with him. It was just a great atmosphere. It was like a party atmosphere. It was awesome. So there's been some great concerts that I've been to over the years. A lot of singers that I absolutely love and adore and will follow and listen to their music and everything else. Some days I will play music, and usually I used to be music had to be on all the time. I had to have music going all the time. Nowadays it's more music goes on when I feel like it. Some days I find it distracting and have to turn it off. Oh, Il Divo is another one that I like as well. They are great. I will tell this. I like playing their stuff when I'm on a plane. Like I will put them on at the beginning of a flight and listen. I've got all of their albums on a playlist. So I'll listen to their playlist while I'm on a flight, and I will easily go to sleep. I will read my book and I will go to sleep with that, and they're playing in my ear. And I can have the volume low enough that I can hear the songs and know what they're singing. I just got to stop myself from singing along with them on the plane. I don't think the passengers around me would enjoy that. But yeah, I will go to sleep with them on the plane and while they're playing their music in the plane, or read books and that sort of stuff to the plane. So yeah, it's kind of fun. But you know, what music have you grown up with? What music has influenced you over the years? What music reminds you of certain things? Just trying to think. We never played any music at Brad's funeral. If we had, I would have done Celine Dion's Falling Into You, since that was our song. But there's a lot of times when I'm watching movies that there'll be a song playing in the background, and I'm like, oh, totally lost interest in what the movie going on in the movie, but I'm trying to listen to what's playing in the background, because some of them have really good soundtracks. But you know, what music has influenced you over the years? What music do you listen to? What music did your parents listen to and grow up to? What music did what was that band that duet that did that one? Well, George Michael, there was Wham. He was Wham before that with George, and enjoyed his stuff. What's the band that sang Everybody Wants to Rule the World? Enjoyed their stuff too. Like I'll get off this and all these names will start popping into my head. Trust me. But you know, ask a family member about their favorite singer, band, or musical group. What were their favorite songs that they liked to listen to? Did they listen to it on the radio? Did they collect records, tapes, 8-tracks, or CDs? Did they ever see any of them perform live? Most importantly, ask them why that music mattered to them. Record their answers today, because every family has a soundtrack and every song tells part of their story. Let us know in the comments below some of the stories that you come across. And with that, we are out of here. Go out, have a super fantastic, sparkling evening. Catch you guys back here tomorrow evening at 6.